Why don't you do a funny opening for a
Oh,
change?
you want me to do a funny opening? God, that's not what
Yeah.
comedy's about, Amy. Amy, it's not about like summoning comedy. It's about reacting to stuff in the moment that is funny, right? Like sometimes my brother's like, "Oh yeah, Derek, you're funny. Be funny." I'm like, I can't do that. Makes no sense.
Welcome to Dicetown Homebrews, everyone.
Oh,
Today we have a really interesting episode. So last month I did a thing where I challenged people to beat me in games of Dicetown, and one of the prizes was you got to choose a hero for us to have to play on Gameplay Showcase. So a bunch of people won. We have played all of their heroes already, but Derek also beat me
hi.
and has been holding this hero back for a while to play. So I'm gonna have Derek introduce their hero, and this is gonna be a weird one. So, quick disclaimer before we start: we're probably going to be saying things about these heroes. These are very old heroes. We know a lot of things now that we didn't know when these heroes were made, and these are also heroes made by new-ish designers. So don't take this as a criticism of like new designers in general. These are just really old heroes, and we're bringing them here for the comedy and
I
also to show like you know
Yeah, that
show some new
was
faces.
not my intent. I don't mean
Yeah,
to point at these heroes like, haha, they're funny because they're bad. I actually mean to say that they're quite good. I actually think that this character is pretty solid, all things considered, as janky and whack as it looks, right? And I do mean that. I think that this character is about one iteration from being solid. I mean, like, you can kind of look at the board and stuff and be like, oh, this looks pretty rough around the edges. And it is. So, hi, this is the Minotaur. So, the Minotaur has, I want to say, well, it has 6 status effects. So, first of all, there's the Roar Revealed Intimidate package. So, when you spend Roar, you roll a dice, and then on a 1 and a 2, you give your opponent a +1 damage modifier. In a 5
I'm
to a
liking this so far.
6, you give yourself a better D token. And on a 3 to 4, you get nothing. And you could also spend them as Roar pluses, which change the odds in your favor. So instead of a one third, one third, one third, it's 1/6, one third, and 1/2 chance to, like, get the better D, right? And better D is actually very relevant on this kit. I think that they did a good job making the Roar sort of mechanic actually coherent. I was a bit worried at first, like the +1 damage would be worse than the Intimidate, but actually, with how this defense is designed, the Intimidate's much better than the +1. So, next up, we have Deep Wound. So, Deep Wound is a 2 damage over time token. So, it's kind of like Bleed, except if Bleed was more consistent and always removed after 2 turns. So, that's reasonable. There is Curse of the Labyrinth. So, what Curse of the Labyrinth does is it is certainly worded strangely. So you put it onto your opponent, and then at the start of the opponent's upkeep phase, so not their upkeep phase, the opponent's opponent, which is me, it's going to deal 3 and let me deal 3 damage to them and 1 damage to myself. I don't think that's how it was intended, but that is actually how it's worded, and I guess it kind of the jank canceled out and it works again. So sure. Finally,
And
there's
also, if Curse of the Labyrinth kills both of us, the Minotaur wins.
Oh yeah, that's a funny detail. It's something I kind of like glossed over, but yes, that is. Technically, it's not if Curse of the Labyrinth kills both of us. It's if there is a tie at all, then I win a
Yeah,
tiebreaker.
that's much more unlikely though. But
Yeah. Well, I hit you with defendable damage and you strike me back. That seems fairly reasonable, but maybe not in this character. So finally, there's Dead End and Dead End Plus. Dead End Plus doesn't happen. It is actually nowhere on the kit. I'm a bit baffled by it being here, but oh well. So what Dead End does is I put a Dead End token onto an opponent's ability, so that can include the defense and the passive, but not the ultimate. And when that ability is chosen, they take 1 damage. Now, I'm not exactly sure, and also you can't put it in the same ability twice in a turn. I'm not exactly sure why it has the passive text because you never choose passives; they just happen. Uh, I don't really know what the intended gameplay pattern here is either. Is it like supposed to work half the time against heroes with passive, but not against heroes who don't? It's a little incoherent, but like those are just details.
yeah,
And
I'm
yeah, that
assuming the intent was that I could like choose not to resolve the effect on my passive, but that breaks down very quickly against
yeah
most heroes.
yeah. So finally, we have this defense. So it is improperly worded. It says prevent 2 damage when deal 1 damage per charge. So you'll notice there's actually no charge in the dice anatomy, and that's it was clarified in a Facebook post that the author's intent that this is meant to be 6s. Also, these 5 abilities never happen, so you can kind of ignore that too.
Yeah, also worth noting this hero is a 4/1/1 dice anatomy. Do you want to
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
that?
So it has 4 swings, 1 block, 1 stomp. So that means that you're actually pretty safe to hard roll in this character, as you only need 3 swings to get like your fallback, or 4 swings to get 6 damage. So it's pretty safe to actually aggressively chase 6s for sharp turn, which is actually like your best ability on board. So yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, there's one more detail. So at the start of my opponent's tour, I inflict dead end, and also I have no basic cards. I just didn't see any, so I have only basic cards. I saw no unique cards for the Minotaur, so my deck's actually pretty good. All right.
All right, so I have already fought the Minotaur. We did a couple of sample games last night. I played Jean Grey, who is a very strong official hero against the Minotaur, and I died twice by significant margins each time. So the thing about the Minotaur is, because there are no unique cards, Minotaur gets Helping Hand twice as well, not this time. What status effects? Cards like these twice as often. So Minotaur almost always draws at least 1 dice mod. Probably going to draw 2. Always has status removal. Draws not this time very often. This hero's ultimate is devastating if it lands. The defense can randomly swing. So I'm very scared of this hero because my record against it is not great. So I decided to bring in a hero that I think will specifically play well against the Minotaur. I'm playing Grey the Preservator by Tom Mahar. So this hero has a light and dark token. I start on the light side, and then during my upkeep phase, I have to flip to the other side of the token. Speaking of Jean Grey. While I'm on the light side, I take 2 less damage from attacks. And while I'm on the dark side, I take 2 more damage, and I deal 2 more damage. So being on the light side is actually technically better, but being on the dark side will speed the game up, which will probably be beneficial for me in this matchup. The only other token I have is Fate, which starts on my board. So it starts on my basic attack here, and then during the start of my second main phase, if I activated the ability that it's on during my offensive roll phase, then I get the Fate effect on that ability. Then, regardless of whether I activated the ability it's on or the ability it's not on, I have to move it to a different offensive ability. So, for example, on my first turn, if I activate my basic attack, I will, during my second main phase, draw a card, and then I have to put this on one of my 4 other abilities. I guess I could put it on my ultimate, but I don't know why I would do that. The other thing you'll note about this hero is that I only have 3 roll objectives. These 2 abilities have the same roll objective, and these 2 abilities have the same roll objective. This is a small straight, not a large straight.
That's
So,
strange. I just sort of subconsciously assumed there was a large straight here, that these would be different.
Yeah, it's weird, but these roll objectives are very easy. The small straight is actually the hardest roll objective of these 3, so I will be staying very low to the ground and not taking many risks during my roll phase, which will help against those dice mods. You also might have noticed I have no removable status effects. Fate can't be transferred or removed by any means, and this token could also not be transferred or removed by any means.
So I think you just try to blink as many of my cards as possible.
Yeah, all your status removal is going to do nothing here. The only thing I am worried about is that Dead End is going to be very effective with the Fate token, because I am kind of like telegraphing what ability I want to activate next turn, and you're going to be able to respond to that. To do a whole 1 damage to me, but I think it'll still be worth it. And then the last thing to note about this hero, I have 2 defenses. I have to pick a defense based on what mode I'm in, light mode or dark mode. They do kind of the same thing. And my ultimate is pretty strong, but that's not going to matter. I'm never going for it. And I think I have 11 upgrades in my deck, and they're very transformative upgrades. So I'm going to be trying to draw one of those and massively swing the game in my favor by making one of my upgrades very, very strong. And that's it.
Okay, well, I don't really know what to expect from Grey the Preservator. It's A. Is that like the English spelling or like the British spelling?
You should turn off your voice to TTS.
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
I press C.
What were you saying?
Oh, I press C, and I actually don't see the usernames at all because of the lack of a UI. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll off for first.
Sounds good.
I'm excited to play a Minotaur game. Darn it.
Alright, I'm going first.
Alright, and I'm gonna flick Dead End onto here. Oh, right, I have to make these tokens bigger.
Yeah, you have fun with that. So I have a dead end on my basic attack. There's a shocker. Okay, let's see what we got here. So what's the wording of dead end? If action is chosen, deal 1 damage. Remove
Yeah.
token at the end of turn. So
Could you
the
reset
damage
these?
is
Because I
applied.
can't reset them because I'm not the host.
Yeah, the damage is applied at the end of the roll phase, right?
Mhm.
And then also the token is not removed when I activate the ability. So if I activate an ability and then buy the token, I don't take the damage, right?
I believe that you would still take the damage, because if the action is chosen, then it deals 1 damage to you. So it's like
Yeah, but
when
then
the
if I
action is
remove
chosen.
the token, if I remove the token before the conclusion of the roll phase, when the damage would be dealt.
I guess so. I guess it's like I don't know. You'd have to ask God.
Ask God.
Yes, God is to me. God is
Yeah.
whoever made the homebrew, right? So
Mhm.
we could play it that way because I don't think that really matters too much with the Babai. I don't really care. It's 1 delta. You'd rather
Okay.
Babai something else like an Intimidate or a
Sweet.
Deep Wound.
I'm gonna sell Dim Descending too. I'll spend 2 CP to upgrade my basic attack. So now it does 1 extra damage on 3 of a kind to draw a card, and the fate effect changes to remove a status effect token.
Oh.
Got him. I'm gonna roll.
I mean, that's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep all of these, I think. I don't know. I feel like I go for the 3 of a kind. A little harder.
I feel as though if you
Yeah,
ask if you ask God, they would say that it doesn't work that way.
well, I don't believe in God. Haha.
Okay.
Also, I forgot on my upkeep phase I have to flip to dark, so I actually start the game in dark, which is kind of weird. So I guess the decision I'm trying to figure out is, do I go for the 3 of a kind effect because drawing a card is really nice, or do I give up on that? I think I'm going to keep the 1s. I feel like I have the safety to just go for it. All right, never mind.
Oh, I forgot to draw my hand.
Oh yeah, that's kind of important. Mid basic, any response?
Go ahead.
So ideal. Oh, actually, I just realized this fate effect happens at the start of my second main phase, so this entire question is moot.
Get dunked on.
Yeah, so I take a damage. And then I am dealing 10.
All right. Time to roll my defense.
Mhm.
So it does nothing on the very common symbols.
Oh my
But
God.
look at that. I rolled 2 6s, and each 6 is 3 delta. So I prevent 5 damage, and I deal back 2.
Yep.
And I take how much damage? 5?
I was dealing 10, so you'll take 5.
Yeah. Cool.
God damn it. Alright. Second main phase, I can remove a status effect token from player, but there are no status effects to remove. And then I'm gonna move this to light attributes. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
How
And
does
then I'll
how
pass.
does this work in Dice Zone? Like, you say that you want to remove my stat. I guess yours would resolve first if it's your turn. If you try to like remove my revealed and I can't spend it. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. 1 combat point. Draw a card. Cool. I'm going to double up.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to triple up.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to play Vegas, baby.
I hate you.
Okay, before that resolves, I'm going to play Getting Paid.
Okay.
What? What's wrong?
I was like, are you gonna tip it the Vegas baby? Come on, do it. Do it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to discard Transference.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and... Okay, you put it on the angle side. I see, you're a coward.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't want to discard cards from my deck? Why not? It is so good. You get to discard cards from my deck, and then I can't draw the cards you discarded. That's how statistics work.
Yeah,
Yo!
milling cards is actually like actively harmful for me because if I mill too many cards, Minotaur could like actually reasonably shuffle the discard pile,
And
which
then I
is
get
terrible.
Getting Paid and triple up
Yeah.
and double up and Vegas Baby
And
back.
I see all these cards for the second time, and that's like definitely
Yeah, then I can
not a
draw
fan.
like 5 more cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible. Alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and just start rolling here. Yeah. Alright. So immediately I did just get a bunch of these, and because I have so many swings, it's actually not too risky to just go for like Sharp Turn or my ultimate. And you'll notice that the small straight is actually pretty interesting. I think this is actually very well designed. It's a shame it's a little too weak. So it's deal 4 damage, gain war, and it adds 1 damage for the lowest number in the small straight, which means that like on a 2-3, it's better if it's like a 3-4-5-6 than a 2-3-4-5, right? I think it's actually really cool. It's a shame that it's worse than the, or like it's only ever gonna be on par with the max basic, which is extremely easy to roll. So, anyways, I'm gonna hard roll this. Okay, and I'm going to, Yeah, and if I got 2 6s here, then I would have went for sharp turn, but I didn't get 2 6s, so I'm actually just going to roll for my basic, which is very probable.
Nice.
Wow, that is unfortunate. That was mathematically improbable. But anyways, I will just deal 4 defendable damage.
That was the defense you rolled.
Yeah. No, yeah,
yeah.
This more than cancels out. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be 6 damage because I'm in dark mode. I'm gonna activate Consuming Darkness because I can't use the other defense while I'm in dark mode. I'll roll 4 dice. I'll deal 1 back for every split I roll, so 3 back.
Ouch.
And I'll take 6.
Okay. And you go ahead.
Alright, I'm gonna flip into light mode. Income. Alright, I'll play double up. Alrighty.
Amy's pondering her orb.
I am pondering. I'm gonna roll.
You know what I will say about this character? The 4 and 5 symbols, like it's like a little bit of an optical illusion, and it looks like the dice is like a little smaller than the other dice. I don't know. Am I going crazy?
You probably are. Small straight roll 1.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll deal 8 damage.
Okay, let's defend.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'll accept this.
Yeah, I'm going to take 6, and you're going to take 1, and I'll play not this time. Yeah.
All right. Second main phase, I heal 2 because I did that fate. I'm going to move it back onto my basic attack. Actually.
Oh, wait, I forgot to do dead end, which I would have done there. But, yeah,
okay.
Obviously.
It's a shame.
The timing. Oh, yeah, fine. Yeah, you're just going to take that 1 delta. I'm gonna mark 1 delta for Amy being mean. Amy
mean.
Yes.
I'm actually going to put the fate token on Dim Descending. The Balance Blast fate effect is not too relevant right now while you're building up. It might be able to use it more later, but even if I don't do Dim Descending because the basic attack is still better, at least it's a more relevant fate effect, and I have to make Derek decide on the dead end. So I'll put it there, and then I will pass.
Okay. So let's go ahead and grab a combat point and draw a card. All right. So here, now it's time to start rolling. Cool. I'll keep the 6, reroll the rest. I'll keep the 6 and reroll the rest.
Sweet.
Alright. Well, I could activate the Soul Straight, but the basic is still better. Wait, yes, this is 5 damage roar as opposed to 6 damage. Wait, I thought that was a 4. My bad. They look similar, like conceptually. I will just activate my 6 damage basic.
Sounds good. I'll roll my Shining Light defense. It's the exact same as the Consuming Darkness defense, except I heal instead of dealing damage. So I will heal 3.
Okay.
And then I'm also taking 2 less damage because I'm in light mode, so I'll take 1.
Cool. Go ahead.
Alright. I will flip into dark mode. Income. Dead end trigger.
Dead end trigger. Right. I'm gonna put that onto your basic.
Alright, sweet. I'm gonna sell Bitter D. And I'm gonna spend 3 CP on light attributes 3. So the roll objective changed, as you might notice. Now it's all even numbers.
Okay, that's cool.
And then it's now deal 10 on the 3 of a kind. I draw 2 cards, and the fate is still heal 2.
Yeah. I mean, this is incredibly easy to roll. So.
Yeah. So the thing that makes this cool is you might notice the numbers on my dice alternate between black and white. So I can check which dice are even numbers just by whether they're black or white. For the number itself. So it's actually kind of a cool graphic design decision. That's only relevant if you draw this specific upgrade. But yeah, I'm gonna.
Is that like the inverse, like all odds on the dark?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna celebrate advancement 2 as well, and I'm gonna roll.
You don't want to heal 7?
So I see 2 even numbers. We'll just keep those. Toss the rest to get 3 of a kind. I do need.
Come on, do it.
Yeah, I'll go for it. All right. Light attributes. Any response?
Tip it.
Okay.
Actually, I tip this up to a 5. Yeah,
Same Z's.
fair enough.
I
Go
got
ahead.
it.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll draw 2 and deal 10 damage.
Ouch. All right, it's time.
That'll be 12 as well because I'm in dark mode.
Yeah, you're currently my devil.
Are you kidding me?
Great.
Take 2.
Yep, and I'll take 4 less, so I take 8.
Yep. Second main phase, I'm gonna move the fate token onto light attributes.
Yep, I guess I know where I'm dead ending next turn. You know what?
Yep,
Here, I'm gonna put like a big dead end token between us. That way, I
Yeah.
remember where to do it when I like move over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pass.
Cool. Good for you, Amy. All right.
Good for me.
So I'm going to start rolling because what else am I doing with my life? Oh, cool, 6s.
Uh-oh.
Oh, cool, 6s. Okay.
Please
Well, you have
don't.
no combat points, so
Please don't.
6s.
Really? Really?
Ultimate. Any
Go
response?
ahead. Nope.
Yippee!
I'll
You take
it.
9 damage, and you get a funny
Yep.
little Curse the Labyrinth, which happens on my turn for some reason.
Yes.
I don't think that's the intent, but it's really hard to argue against how it's worded, so whatever. Go ahead.
Anything else? All right.
No.
I'm gonna switch to dark mode. Income. Alrighty. Hmm. I'm gonna roll. It's not many even numbers.
But you do
Can we-
almost have a 3 of a kind on Balance
Yeah,
Blast.
going for the base would be pretty sweet. Yeah, I think that's probably worth it. Come on, help me out here. 3 of a kind basic in response.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll draw a card, and I will deal 9.
Okay. It's time, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
How many 6s can I roll? Holy shit! I prevent 7, so I take 2 and you take 3? This is incredibly unlikely in the defense, but I'm having a great time. How about you, Amy?
I am not. I am
Good.
not having a great
Good.
time. I will pass.
Am I the villain yet?
Yes, you are the villain.
Okay. Well, you're gonna take 3 damage. I'm gonna take 1.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna start rolling. So right now I kind of have 2 main abilities on my board, which is my technically charge isn't terrible, but it is not great. It is just 7 damage and deep wound, and I can use roars as roar pluses. But it's like, do I really want to hold on to roars? It's also a little difficult to hit roars other than specifically like max double axe swing, which I haven't been going for because I've been aggressively chasing the ult. You know this. You've been watching my gameplay. Anyway, unless you're just listening and you just like my voice, you wouldn't like Amy's voice. I'm gonna hard roll. Okay.
My voice is inflected by the pain I feel inside currently.
Uh-huh. Alright, so I have a 3, 4, 5, 6, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna re-roll this 1 and see what I get. A 5. Alright, I'm going to lock in my small straight. Any response?
You got it.
7 damage and a roar.
Okay. And
So
then
7
that
defendable?
becomes, yeah. I'll prevent 2 because I'm in light. I'll activate shiny light. So we're at 5 right now, and I'll heal 4. So I'll take 1.
Good for you.
Good for me.
Alright. I'm glad. Okay. And I can activate the roar when I want, but actually, yeah, might as well do it now. I'm going to warg. Warg time. Alright. And I get an intimidate, which I can use to reroll all the dice in my defense. Go ahead.
I forgot to move my fate token. I would have put it here. So go to my
Okay.
upkeep. I'll flip to dark mode. Yep, income.
Wait, I can't put on the same ability twice, so I have to do it somewhere else. So let's do it here. Sorry.
Um. Hmm. I'm gonna sell Dark Attributes 2 and play Dark Attributes 3.
Oh, level 3 upgrades.
Yep. And then I'm gonna roll. So I have 3 odd numbers, 2 even numbers. I think I'll go for Dark Attributes here, since the basic's a little locked off and all that. Yep, looking great. Last roll. Okay, I'll do Dark Attributes, but only 3 of a kind.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll deal 12 damage.
Yep. Time to roll for my defense.
Okay.
Yaw. Alright, and I'm going to spend my Intimidate to reroll 3 dice, I think.
Okay.
Just want to get it into value. Great. So I prevent 5 and I deal back 2. And you're dealing 12, so I take 7.
Okay. I will go to my second main phase.
Okay.
I'll move the Fate token here.
Okay.
And I will pass.
Very nice.
Take 3.
Yep, you take 3
You take
damage,
1.
I take 1. Comma point and draw a card. Let's go. Alright. Let's roll all my dice. Okay, let's hard roll. Yeah, this character really is just like hard roll simulator because you're just like, yeah, and like as you
Great.
see, the 6 didn't help me, but I still just deal 6 damage.
Yeah.
The only thing
Okay.
that's really bad are the blocks, and those are pretty unlikely.
I'll activate Consuming Darkness.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I will deal 2 back.
All right,
And I'll
I
take
take 2.
8.
Okay. And yeah, you go ahead.
Alright, I'll flip into light mode. Go to income phase.
Yep.
Okay. Dang it. Yeah, we'll get rolling. 3
Hey,
6s.
6s. Are you brave?
Those are even numbers. I think we'll take light attributes, roll 1.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll take 1 from the dead end.
Get
I will
dunked
draw
on,
2.
nerd.
And I'll deal 10.
Okay. Oh, you know, I guess I guess I can shake those. So I'll take 6.
Okay.
Oops, wrong direction.
Before we go to my second main phase, I'm going to play Shifting Fate. I activate the Fate effect of the attack ability I use, regardless of the Fate token's current location, so I'll heal 2.
Okay.
Then I'll spend 1 CP to play Perspective Positioning. I do the same thing, so I'll heal 2. And then I roll a die, and if I roll a Borders, I will mill you for 3 cards, which hopefully will not happen. Let's go. Or cost 1 more CP for some reason. Then I'll go to my second main phase, heal 2 more, because I actually used the Fate token successfully. And then I'm going to move it to... I think moving it to Balance Blast isn't bad, because you probably get a Roar next turn. None of my other Fate effects are terribly relevant, except the one on Bright Advancement, but I'm not planning to activate Bright Advancement anytime soon. So yeah, I'll just move it here.
Okay.
No. What am I doing? Move it here. Yeah.
Alright.
No, move it here. Jesus. I'm okay. I will pass.
Okay. You take 3 damage, I take 1. Alright, common point, draw a card. Okay, let's discard what stats effects.
You sure?
Yeah,
It's
why
a really
not?
good card.
Yeah, I'm also gonna discard, get that out of here.
It's also pretty good. I'm surprised by these decisions.
Yeah. These cards are amazing in the matchup. Like, you know, with your singular transference, like I need as many status removals as I possibly can get.
To transfer the dead end that you give me.
Yeah, after you transfer the dead end, then I can remove it.
Yeah.
So I can activate my basic attack for 1 more delta. It's really relevant. Yeah. Okay.
That's great.
So let's start rolling. Alright, cool. I see a 6. It's technically a large shape. I don't care.
Oh.
What? Yeah, twice as wild. Second roll.
Down
Go
for
ahead and
further.
play your dice mod. Your
Yeah.
getting painted dice mod. I know you have it.
Yeah,
There's no
getting
way you
picked up.
don't have it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
Okay. What else you got? Hop behind me. Come on.
What are you trying to activate?
Ultimate.
Okay. No response.
Okay, good game.
No.
What?
Darn. I did have a plan to victory there. If you had done literally anything else, I would have played not this time, and then it'd be ahead.
Uh huh.
Um, and
Yeah, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
yeah.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff, Amy. Nice try.
Mm,
So, what's the post game
This is
commentary looking
not.
like?
This is not an infuriating hero in the slightest.
Uh huh.
Um, I have very much enjoyed getting unfairly pummeled by you for the third game in a row,
Uh huh.
and I have no desire to harm anyone in this voice chat right now.
Uh huh. Uh huh. You should not harm yourself, Amy. That's transphobic.
Uh-huh. But yeah, you can kind of see what Gray the Preservator is trying to do. Lots of very transformative upgrades that make my abilities way more valuable,
Mm-hmm.
and just trying to like beat you to death with like 10 delta abilities over and over again. I was thinking because your abilities are worse than mine, that I would just like slowly gain advantage over the course of the game, and as long as you don't do anything absurd like roll two ultimates, that I'd be ahead for the entire game. So
Right, right. But as you can see with this character, it's like the ability delta is actually so flat that other than like specifically my ultimate and also a sharp turn, which I didn't get to activate this game, but it's not bad. It's just whatever.
undefendable.
Yeah, it is undefendable. I
Apparently.
mean, that is God's intent. It is red, which means
Yeah.
undefendable, I guess. Uh, but yeah, because of that, like I super aggressively rolled off for sixes, and if I didn't get it and I just got double axe swing, like I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, right? But yeah, that is kind of the strategy of this character. I do think this character is actually, after playing it a couple of times, yeah, a little too strong. I was actually expecting things to cancel out a little bit more, but because of the
Yeah.
dice anatomy, it's so
It's
safe to
just
just
like that. Basically,
aggressively chase
your
this stuff.
your game plan is entirely dependent on how fast you roll your ultimate, because you will roll your ultimate eventually, because you're drawing so many dice mods that you can also chase sixes every turn.
Yep.
So it's like if you get it turn one, I die. If you get it later, then it's more up in the air. Like that game was fairly close until you got the second ultimate. Like I had a
Yep.
plan.
Oh, by the way,
Uh,
in case you were wondering, I did have a same Z's in
oh,
my
of
hand.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the if there's one lesson you take from this episode, it's that you should make unique cards. Just the basic cards is a dangerous prospect.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I do think that like you give this character some basic cards, you tune up some of the weaker abilities. Also, the designers said they wanted to do AAA BBC. I kind of like the fact that it's 4 A's, 1B, 1C.
We've done that before. There was another hero that did that. That one didn't really like the issue with the dice anatomy is it's just very dependent on. It's the same thing with like 3-1-1-1. Of
Uh,
it's like you just look at the hard symbols and those dictate what you do, and then everything else is kind of like handed to you for free.
yeah.
Um, I think like the fact that your entire game plan just came down to keep sixes, toss the rest, even in otherwise bad scenarios where you just like the best decision is to keep sixes and toss the rest, I think is emblematic of maybe a roll objective board and or dice anatomy that is probably not healthy.
Yeah, I agree. I
Like the
think
fact that you made no decisions during the roll phase, pretty much.
I think that if fives were really good in like some quantity, but sixes were like pretty bad unless you specifically got like, the ultimate or the mini ult, I think that would actually be a lot more coherent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, like the fact that I'm not talking about like none of this kit works, the fact I'm talking about like these sort of like
Yeah.
relatively small polish things is actually a really good sign. And I genuinely think this character is super impressive for when it came out and for the fact that like it wasn't iterated on, right?
Mhm.
Like I want to emphasize that I wasn't like doing this because I think it's like funny. I'm doing it because I want to encourage people to make things that are bad, right? Sing badly, make bad art. Like,
Yeah.
don't sweat it. Have fun. This character was fun to play, not balanced and
Yeah.
not
Not fun for
particularly
me.
well polished, but if they want to do that, that's fine. If they don't want to, then I still had a fun time playing it. It still sparked joy in me and hatred in Amy, and that's really what matters.
It's a win-win, really.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, what else? We're closing this out, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Gray played pretty decently. The one card I was really hoping to get was it was on the bottom, of course. Is my passive upgrade lets me choose whether to flip the token, so I just stay on light the entire game.
Jesus, yeah.
Because I just prevent 2 damage every turn. That's like for 1 CP. This card basically reads win the game. Like this cancels out your ultimate if I draw it. It's like yeah. It's a very strong upgrade though. It also lets me activate Shining Light every turn, which means if I get the Shining Light upgrade, it's better. So this is like one of the, like there's a lot of upgrades. Like my hope was that we would go into this game and I would draw a bonkers upgrade in my opening hand and then just ride that to victory. The upgrades came a little late, but other than that, you know, worked out pretty well for the most part.
Yeah, I think this character. I think it is funny to show like.
I'm still mad about your bullshit defense rolls.
And it's funny how like mid you can make a board if the card quality is this high. Like I still actually am pretty unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I did get silly lucky with my defense rolls. I'll admit. Yeah. I think that I technically like this should have been a lot closer than it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. We promise next time we'll play some more recent heroes that are more polished, but we had fun doing this for a change.
You know, Amy, you sound like very hesitant to say that, but I'll take you at your word.
Okay.
See y'all next time.
But let us know what you thought of this. We were trying a lot of new stuff like somewhat recently, so